Yo, Pistol McAwesome, what's up, man? I say you go with both at the same time. A few herbs. Save it one more time. Good, you may proceed. Alright, who do we gotta face first? Battle 1 down. healed me. We wasted a bunch of items there. Not Gabo. Not Gabo. Not Gabo. Yes. Those things have to be quick. They're really close to dying on the side. Kill yourself. I don't even need to heal, I guess. Come on. This guy. Oh shit. Oh, come on. And that I constantly keep getting blinded too. Well, I can hope he heals me. He's not gonna heal everybody though. Heal yourself. We're not fully healed, which scares me a bit, but we managed to do it. One more fight down. Maybe I should focus on the side enemies first. She could hit everybody. Wait, we're gonna heal. Hurt a fool. Okay. Let's sap him. Yo, deformed. Good spot to take this guy out now. Actually, let's get you to near pool. Okay, we're pretty set for the next fight at least. That was fight number 3. fight 4. Call for help. Attack with him. You can heal. Sleep again, huh? Okay. Not looking good. Wish I had sap up. More herbs. out of here. Stabby stab. Sister's dead. The Priest Imposter Monster. That's a great name. Yo, Deformed, do you want to play some League this weekend? Travis is, like, super into wanting to play League right now. We'll do some Splatoon as well when McCurdy's available. Sploon! Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, 2 more land shards is all I need, right? I don't have any other ones. Give that to my bag. Give that to my bag. And that. Okay, we got 1. Yep, we got 1. I needed 3, I think, so 2 more and we finally open up that big one. Double check what was in here. I think I got everything before. Ooh. So the tiny metals, there's a guy that collects them, and you can get items for. Some of them are really, really strong items. In Dragon Quest, you really get rewarded for searching stuff out in Dragon Quest games. You know how, like, in most dungeons you'll go and you'll, like, go to the deepest, darkest parts of the dungeon and it'll be something like, you got an herb. Instead, Dragon Quest has stuff like that all over the place, and if you find, like, little things, they might not be useful right off the bat, but you definitely get rewarded for exploring. I think I can only have one accessory. So we will save this. Wizard rings are good for later in the game, I think. Well, they're good, but they break, but you can use them to heal yourself, so they've got a chance of breaking. Bum, 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 bum. Yo, Lime! What's up, man? I think I have a lot of HP. Oh no, I did not check this place out before because people were standing in front of the areas and I couldn't check it. So we will check this stuff now. There's nothing here. Bump, 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 bump. I'm doing alright. Hopefully making a bit of actual progress in this game today. Something other than gambling. Plan on playing some Splatoon this weekend. Hanging out with friends a little bit if I can. Just relaxing. Maybe playing some FF14 off and on for fun. I just want to relax this weekend. I'm not good at the game. I just let deformed and Nagurti carry me. Yay, a leather hat. Super useful. Bump 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 bump. Phone, please. Leave me alone. Slosher's a washing machine. Doesn't that thing go even further? Yeah, I think it was only single player stuff though. Only if you really want to play as an Octoling. Okay, so I don't really have any healing. Rip. I'll get you. Hee hee. Oh man. Looks like that guy ate one too many slimes. Holy shit! Holy shit! Okay then. So I guess for this fight we're just gonna play some music, because apparently the sound glitched for some reason. Got him. Let's see if the audio reset. Okay. Well, that was cool. It looked like it said Cracer, not Creason. Can't get any better armor there. Nope. 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 I already read what you said. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! I should fill up on herbs. These are important to have on every character. As soon as you run out of magic, you're just hoping and praying to do enough damage to the boss. This is just the bank, I guess. It seems you are yet to pursue a class. Please come back at another time. You all look the same to me. I don't know who's who. I wasn't trying to talk to you, I was trying to talk to the old man. Yes. To learn more, choose from the following. Where did he go? Yo, kid! Where did he go? Talking over here to her now. Did I do all the... Get out of here! Oh, Lady Chan. Jeez. Let's see if he's outside here. Nope. Okay, guys, it's time to change classes. Fisher's son, Fish Dooter, Dgooder, the Jeder, and Wolf Boy. Obviously, we have to change that. Okay, so normally I go with like warrior and stuff like that on the main character. It makes sense. But if I remember correctly, Dancer gets some really good abilities, like... Like, I can't remember what abilities the classes get. I just remember... I think that, well, now I'm maybe mixing it up with Dragon Quest VI as well. I don't like that, like how much my strength and stuff goes down with this class either. But I'd rather do weird classes early and then switch later. I'm a kid now. I'm a squid now. Yes. Let's change you into a mage. Maybe Gabo to a thief? Could make him a dancer also. I'm curious what the abilities are that we learn, honestly. Okay, Gabo. We shall make you... Let's make him a thief. He's already fast. We can make him faster. And the cool thing about the Dragon Quest systems when you're changing classes is that you get those bonuses like you do in tactics games that you guys might be used to. However, you don't have to mix and match certain skills. You don't have to pick like okay, I want to be able to do white magic and some other type of magic, and that's it. You don't have to choose that. In the earlier games, you get to keep all of the skills. So everything you learn. So you can make some really strong hybrid characters. Yeah, that's the thing. You have a lot of skills, and the cool parts about it is it allows you to approach boss battles in any way you really want to. It makes me kind of feel like FF10 in a way, how the bosses are kind of like puzzles that you can solve with the different skills that you've learned up until then. And I think that that's one of the things that makes both Dragon Quest VI and Dragon Quest VII more exciting to me, even though I'm not one to normally do that type of stuff. If you fight just 5 more times with Grayson, you'll rise to the skill level of Dancer. If you fight just 13 more times with Maribel, you'll learn something with Mage. If you fight 8 times, you'll learn something with Gabo. Okay. Simply defeating weak opponents, though, will not raise experience. Challenge yourself! Okay. Alright, so let's see if these 5 battles will work. I'm going to go and fight some battles for a while. So we're going to switch back to this other music. Alright, I should have saved the boomerang. The scary part about class changing is your stat changes. I have to heal after every battle now, so I got a lot less HP. But your characters become stronger as they level up in that class too. Like the stat increases are way more significant. But if I start getting some magic on my mage, these fights will be quicker. I just want to make sure these fights actually count. I don't know exactly how it works, how the game knows whether you're fighting a difficult battle or not. So if I remember correctly, I think the Dancer gets like a big AoE heal. And like dodging abilities as well. Okay, wasn't that fight 5? Maybe that was fight 4. These fights might not be counting either, so let me fight one more fight and then I'll check. See how many battles it says I have left. There we go. Lure dance. So 3 more fights for Gabo. I think Dancers become pretty fast, too. You know, I should probably try and... Maybe I should look up skills this time around, since I never did that before, and I have beaten this game before. It'd be good to get some crit abilities for fighting metal slimes, too, if I find a place I can grind them at. We're not even grinding for experience right now. This is just a byproduct. We're not getting a lot of experience in these fights, but it's definitely not what I'm going for currently. More fight. I can't remember if the dance ability costs MP to heal. I think that's why it was so good in 6, because it didn't cost MP. But it might in this one. I don't know. Sandstorm. It was 13 fights, I think, for her. And we can hope she gets some type of AoE. Because then we could fight a bunch of fights very quickly. This is from the Mega Man Zero games, I think. Yeah, that's right. I can't remember if you get certain stats for being a class when you level up or not. That I can't remember. I think you do, so you definitely don't want to grind too many levels out on classes you don't plan on staying later on, even just for abilities. And that's why it's battles instead of experience. I think that's battle 10. So 3 more? Ba-na-na-na. Oh, so she became a novice and learned nothing. Yo, Fidel Infidel, what's up, man? You'll have to let me know when you're ready to do stuff tonight. I talked to the Formed, and he said that he's up for some league and stuff tonight, or whatever. And Nakurdi wanted to do some Splatoon tomorrow since it's Splatfest, if you want to join us for that as well. Splatfest, you get to actually play as a team. I made a dancer class, Travis. You would be proud. Okay. So that's what it does. It shows stars. Man. Water going down the wrong tube always sucks. Even though it doesn't actually go down the wrong tube. That's just a saying that we use. Alright. Oh, man. Excuse me. Like, my body wanted to hiccup there, and it burped instead. Yeah. We're grinding battles, though. We're not grinding for experience. Yo, Eltanin. Wait, he learned Knockdown? It hasn't been 5 battles yet, has it? Yes, for classes. I made my main character a dancer for now. I want to see what abilities I get on some of the classes, because I don't remember. Masa, I love how you're doing a feels bad, man. When I run away from battles, you're like, running away from battles, PogChamp! Or whatever that emote is, which is like displaying disgust in my actions. Yeah, in the end, grinding is grinding. No matter what way you look at it. Toe Tapper. Parry Pass. Was Kiefer a dancer? Because he knew Parry Pass. Grinding is not fun. False. Deformed. False. What's the difference between very special edition and every other edition? I don't feel like this is a serious question. I think I'm still getting points for these battles. How many was it? 8 for Gabo? Yeah, I just mean questioning whether it's a JRPG or not. I love how out of all the times I died and stuff like that on particular characters, all my characters are pretty close levels. just not getting points anymore? I might not be. Should double check. I must have learned something else as Gabo. I wish she didn't have to, like, come talk to her to see that stuff. Well, all I'm doing right now is grinding, so there's not too much to be spoiled, but I completely understand not wanting to be spoiled for it if you do end up playing it, or do end up wanting to play it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream regardless. The Dragon Quest games, as I've stated before, are just like a comfort game for me. I can just kind of sit back, relax, and play them. It's not, Doc, it's not about not being able to keep track of the amount of battles I fought. It's about whether the battle counts or not. Because there reaches a point where you need to fight harder enemies to actually have the battles count. And you don't know until you go and check. So I could fight 17 battles and hope I level up, then go back and check and realize that I still need to fight 17 battles. You don't know when, like, the switch flips for battles no longer counting. At least I don't know how it's expressed in this game. That you're too strong for the enemies and it no longer counts. For all I know, it could be the amount of turns it takes or something like that. Like, if you finish a fight in the first turn, maybe it doesn't count. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to grind here. I don't think there's been a particular point where I've been forced to grind yet to progress. It's just been more along the lines that I wanted to get particular equipment at one point, so I grinded rather than wait and get it later. And right now I'm doing it for class skills, since it's the amount of fights that you fight. I could keep progressing through the game normally and get my fights in as I go. Yeah, well, some games you have, some of the Dragon Quest games in particular, you have to grind quite a bit before you can make any type of progression. And sometimes that gets old very fast for people. Yeah, like, the thing about Dragon Quest games for me is that it's one of the few games I can play where I feel like talking to every NPC actually gives me some type of unique dialogue. It's not just generic town, you're in a bar, there's a drunk person in the bar, and there's people, like, complaining about an overly drunk guy being in a bar. Like, the characters are actually affected by the environment and what's going on around them in these games. So it's great to get to a new town because they're going to tell you everything about the town. They're going to tell you about the people in the town. Like, the people have names. They're like they communicate with each other. They do stuff together. You kind of feel like you're a part of it, and that's why for me, unlike some other RPGs that I play, and I just go through and you get generic town dialogue of like, oh, if you go to this place, then you can do this thing, jig type of stuff to try and progress the game. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that Dragon Quest games do that's special that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people look at the, let's say, for instance, I have a buddy that's not too fond of, like, the aesthetic of the game, like the NPCs and stuff like that. And I understand that. There's not a lot to be desired in that regard. It's very simplistic. They're a little charming and cute, and that's about it. There's nothing too, like, amazing about them or anything like that. And some people don't like the aspect of not being able to see their characters actually doing stuff in battle. Like, you're only seeing these animations and things like that. I see that as well as like a big turn off to people for these games. But what I feel people miss out on is, like I said, is just that general... They're looking for something more when they play a Dragon Quest game. They're looking for, like, an amazing epic Chrono Trigger tale of a JRPG, and that's not what you get with these games. It's more of a slow burn. It's more about just exploring the world and interacting with the world and seeing how you're affecting it and things like that. So it does leave something to be desired in some cases, but to each their own, for sure. This particular one, I think the biggest flaw of this one is it's too long. It just overstays its welcome in that regard. If it was a solid 60-hour game and you could do everything and then there's lots of extras you could do to push the time limit up from there, sure. But there's just so much in this game that after a while, a lot of it just kind of gets like, okay. I think it's just the approach to it. Like, since stuff's so separated and you have to do a decent amount of backtracking and going back and forth and stuff like that, that adds time. The puzzles themselves are pretty difficult in some cases. It doesn't give you very good direction as to where to go, which most Dragon Quest games are kind of like that in some regard. And since the world becomes so big, there's just about anywhere you can go. But the shard system, I think, is what really adds time to this game. Because the shards are in things like in random chests. They're sitting on the ground in places and things like that. You could miss one and just not progress for a while. And the thing about it is, you don't know if you've missed it from the start of the game or just the last dungeon that you were in. You have no way of knowing where you missed it. And now, because I got the thief key, there's a crap ton of chests that I can open up. And I don't remember where they all are, but there's a very good shot that one of those locked chests has a shard in it. And who knows, I might not be able to progress until I find that, which would mean a lot of going to places and basically getting nothing out of it. And in those cases, that's a bit too much for me in the exploration factor of going and checking everything. I don't like to have to backtrack constantly and get back to areas where I don't get anything out of it. But I do like the benefit of if you put in the extra effort, then you get something. But if it's keeping you back from progressing story, that's a little bit of a different thing. Progressing story is not, in my opinion, something that a player should be rewarded for by going back and exploring everything. That should be separate from it. Go back to that one town at the beginning of the game and open a chest that was locked behind one building that you might have completely forgot about 22 hours ago. Oh, look at that! You found it! Now you get to go and fight the next boss before you get lost again. But again, like, that's part of the aspect I don't like about Dragon Quest games. It's not so much the lack of direction, it's just sometimes how the story progresses leaves a bit to be desired for me. Like, Dragon Quest VI did a few things that I'm not really a big fan of. you had to talk to NPCs, and the thing is to always talk to NPCs twice. That's something that if you've played the original Dragon Quest games or like Final Fantasy games and stuff like that, you talk to NPCs twice. But the way Dragon Quest Six did it was you would talk to someone twice, they'd give you no new dialogue, then you would go talk to someone else who wouldn't even reference the character that you're then supposed to go back and talk to, and then you might have to talk to that NPC twice again. Little things like that are just very obscure, and it's not the first thing you think of. My favorite series. That's a hard one because there's not a whole lot of series of JRPGs. If you're speaking specifically of JRPGs, um, I'd say my favorite franchise, if it's not a JRPG, is probably the Metroid series. I love those games. But if we're speaking JRPGs, I'd probably have to go with Final Fantasy. I've just played more of those than I have Dragon Quest games. I've played a few of the Atelier games. I'm not super fond of those. Breath of Fire might be right up there too as one of my favorite series too. I just think that I have more love for the Final Fantasy games. I've replayed a lot of them a bunch of times, particularly 6 and 9. But the Breath of Fire series is definitely up there for me too. Because dragons, man! I love dragons. I always have. Oh, I thought I got a class level there. Ooh, a copper sword. Woohoo! Dragons are awesome. This is a true statement. You're speaking the truth, Red Blue Fire. Absolutely speaking the truth. Nothing like sad piano music when you're pressing the X button a shit ton of times in a row. I think that having Dragon Quest games on a portable system is probably one of the best things for Dragon Quest. Odd dance. They are cool! Absolutely. I'm still a kid at heart when it comes to dragons and stuff like that. I just love that type of stuff. Any game that gets to, like, you get to face a dragon, you get to, like, fight a giant-ass dragon, or you get to, like, ride a dragon or something like that gets me, like, super nostalgic. I finished 8 not too long after it came out. That one took me about 100 hours to beat when I played it. Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior, they're the same game. I figured what you meant. Yeah, real life has a way of doing that. Trust me, I attempt to stream every day, and real life gets in the way more often than not. When you work a job that's anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day, and then you attempt to stream for 3 to 4 hours a day as well, stuff gets in the way. Alright, how many battles here? We got 15 for him, 5 for her, and 10 for him. Okay, well, let's see if she learns something from the 5 fights. I'm mostly doing this now because I don't think I want to keep my main character as a dancer, but I do want to see what abilities a dancer gets. Because dancer's a scary class to keep. Because it really negates a lot of my damage. I have lower HP and other stats. Well, I'm happy you stopped by. And spending times with puppies is always fun. I currently don't have any puppies or anything like that. I do have a cat, and my roommate has a cat as well. It's a little bit easier when I'm not home very often to have a cat. I can come home, I can play with him and stuff like that, and he takes care of himself. You know, with the bathroom, I can leave some food out and things like that. He won't devour it completely. But when I get to a place in my life where I have a little bit more time, I'm definitely going to have both a cat and a dog. That's just always been my thing. We always had a cat and a dog in my house growing up. And I love how they show love in two completely different ways, too. They're both incredible animals. I'm not really a dog person or a cat person. I like both. And I miss not having both. But yeah, I'm glad you stopped by. I hope you definitely enjoy the stream. We're doing loads of JRPGs. That is what this stream is. At the end of every game that I finish, I have a review, and then I have a raffle. Whoever wins the raffle gets to pick the next game. This one was picked by Toon Lonk, so you can thank him. That will be at 2,000 hours by the time we finish this game. Well, yeah, how can you not talk about love when it comes to animals and stuff like that? We're so very fortunate that, like, you know, animals just, they love us unconditionally, regardless of what's going on in our lives and stuff like that. Iconic1, thank you for the sub, man. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the party. Let's get some sub hype in chat. I hope you enjoy your stay, man. I hope you enjoy your emote as well. If you're not familiar with it, it is Nina from Breath of Fire 2. Speaking of Breath of Fire. And we're definitely working on another emote as well. We have one in the works. I'm trying to get my 3 up and ready to go. Uh-oh. Come on, don't die. Okay, we're good. This is the past. I really need to get some AoE magic. It's the only reason to really have a mage. Yes, I just got these classes. I literally just finished the boss fight and stuff like that to get them maybe 30 minutes ago or so. Not too long ago. So my favorite thing about the Breath of Fire games is they're like very quirky and goofy. And I like the fact that it's not just a bunch of human or like humanoid characters that you have, you know? You have dogs, you have cats, you have cows, elephants, lizards, plant men, monkeys. You've got everything. Oh, come on! You mean Breath of Fire 2, obviously. Breath of Fire 2, hands down, better than Breath of Fire 3. Although I was second guessing that after the final dungeon in Breath of Fire 2. Infinity, never again! A fox, a tiger, a snake lady, yeah. No, Nagas, are they called, I think? I can't remember. I remember there's this ability that I had in Dragon Quest VII when I played it when I was younger. It was called like quad hit or something. And it was just like 4 attacks that would choose random enemies. And you don't think it's that good, but when you're like on a single target, it's really, really awesome. And I want to get that again. That was how I was able to actually beat the game when I played through it the first time. Yeah, Breath of Fire 2's final dungeon's terrible. Especially if you stayed up and are streaming for 18 hours and still trying to beat it. Then it kind of like really gets you there. Yeah, I can't forget Pecco the Onion. And that's the cool thing about about Breath of Fire too is that not only do you have dragon transformations, your characters are unique and have their own abilities as well. It's almost like them having classes, but it's like a mix of different things. And not just that, like they add mobility around the map and things like that as well. You have a monkey that can stretch his arms, something that can turn into a ball and roll around all over the place. I think what makes Breath of Fire 3 better in a lot of aspects is the dragon transformation system is a little bit cooler and more unique. You have the class system where you've got like masters that can teach you things and stuff like that, which is cool too. But the mini games in Breath of Fire 3, I hate doing them so much. Let's make some sushi. Let's swim around randomly in a boat. Let's go into a desert and walk in a straight line for 30 minutes. Until you know the secret, then it's quicker. What type of RPGs are you into? So, when I was a kid, I talk about it like it was like 30 years ago. So I grew up watching my dad play RPGs, and in turn I played RPGs, and then I made friends that liked RPGs as well. I introduced them to games that they never played before, and they introduced me to games I never played before. And I always thought as a kid that I wanted to play every one, you know? I wanted to try everyone. And as a kid, like, every time I had any extra money or something like that, I used to hop on eBay and like try and pick up a game I never played before, or I'd download a new ROM that came out that I never heard of before, and things like that. And things like that blew my mind that I had access to that type of stuff and that I could do that type of stuff. But when I started creating this list and stuff like that, the amount of stuff that I found was crazy. And the thing about it is I found some games that I'm very excited to play that I never even knew existed. And a lot of them look really cool. And that's why the tour is really awesome. Persona series and Final Fantasy. Okay. We played a few Persona games already for the JRPG tour. Charge up. As Thief, Gabo is becoming mature. What does that mean? When you're becoming mature. I don't understand what that means. Does that mean that he can't, like, get any more bottles in this area? We should probably save, too. Play it safe. It was a long time ago. I'm using a boomerang on Gabo. I'm not using a boomerang on the main character anymore. I didn't read what the main character needed battle-wise. He needs 5. Okay. So let's fight 5 more battles, then come in and see if Gabos has gone down as well. Yeah, boomerangs are great. I switched off the boomerang for the main character because I got a sword that was doing like twice the amount of damage. But boomerangs are definitely the way to go if you're grinding fights. In which case, I wish I didn't sell the other one. Because these fights would probably be a little bit quicker. And I think my favorite aspect, and I've said this before about the JRPG tour, is that I get to meet so many people because of playing different games. Growing a casual stream, like a stream where you're just playing games casually, is pretty difficult, especially if you're not like a super entertaining person. And I'm definitely not that entertaining, other than maybe failing miserably at fights and stuff like that. But the cool part about this is, even though I switch games pretty frequently, I'm normally switching a game every other week or so. I'm playing a new one. Yeah, I am pretty boring. I've met so many people that love these games. Games I've never heard of before, games I've never played or experienced and stuff like that. And completely new people come in every time that have these stories of growing up and playing these games and these memories and just how much they enjoy them and everything else. And I get to be a little part of that, you know? I get to experience it with them. They get to relive the game through someone that's never experienced it before sometimes, or even get to watch me play a game I have played before. Yeah, I'll always say, like, some of my fondest memories are playing through this game with my dad. Because growing up and stuff like that, I always watched my dad play games, and he would play games by himself and stuff like that. And when it came to the Dragon Quest games, starting with this one, every time a new one came out, we played it together. Yeah, go ahead. It can beat 800 RPGs vicariously through me. And that's why I save the VODs as well. If people are ever interested in the game, they can go back and watch. Not the whole thing necessarily, but just like, oh hey, this game looks cool, maybe I'll pick it up. But yeah, me and my dad used to play these games in particular. That's another reason why they're just kind of a comfort thing for me. And my dad, unlike me, loves to grind, so, like, as a kid, it'd be like, it's 9 o'clock, time for bed, and I go to bed, it's like, come on, Dad, let me stay up so we can make more progress. It's like, that's okay, I'll just fight a few battles. Then I'd come back the next day, and our characters are up, like, 5 levels and learn 6 new abilities, because he sat there grinding for hours. And he would always do, like, the gambling thing and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that. I didn't spend a whole lot of time with my dad. This is one of the few things that, like, we had in common that I started to be able to get him to do with me. So, that's why they're important to me, in some regard, at least. The funny story with this game is, sidestep. What's that do? So we played through this game a lot and got stuck a bunch of times and things like that. And I actually, he's in the chat right now, Mass Cataclysm. I took this game to my buddy's house because we used to play a bunch of different games all the time. He had, like, almost every system. And, one of us would sometimes be playing a game on the PC and the other one would be playing, like, a game on the console or something like that. And we had gotten to the final boss, and we had tried multiple times and not able to beat it. And my dad was constantly grinding and stuff, but as you guys know, I don't really like the grind. I try to avoid it, and I'd get to a last boss. And I fought it at my buddy's place, and that's when I beat the game for the first time. And then when I took it back home, like, I didn't tell my dad that I beat it. I just kind of was like, I got an idea, let's try this for the boss. It took us like 170, 200 hours, something like that to beat this game. We got lost so many damn times. It's important to have stuff like this, whether you're sharing it with family or not. Whether you're sharing it with just people that are close to you and things like that, it's great to have people you can share things that you love with. Oh, don't even talk, man. You had to have put like 3 million hours in, like Final Fantasy Tactics and shit. You can only fight Raditz over and over? Is this ugly girl? That's pretty good. That's an awesome memory. And I love your name because chili dogs are awesome. Yeah, my dad kind of stopped playing games. So as soon as stuff started to become 3D and stuff like that, it was a bit beyond him. So, like, he used to play all the Zelda games and stuff, but as soon as it got to Ocarina of Time, it was just kind of beyond him. He wasn't, like, into it anymore. I don't know if it's just that he got lost, or he just, like, wasn't able to do it, but he's never been a big fan of 3D games. So it was great to be able to get, like, a game on the PlayStation that we could play through. I wasn't a big fan of just how FF7 looked in general. Like, I love the sprite work and stuff like that in 6 so much. I loved how it looked, and then you come to Final Fantasy VII, your characters have horse hoofs for hands and stuff. And yeah, Viper's done crap tons of tactics stuff. So I learned sidestep. I need to let me look at what it does. Offense, heal, others, sidestep, quick step to dodge. Okay. I guess I have to cast it. Dance drains MP, makes a foe dance. Okay. I thought that'd be more of like a passive, but if I have to take a turn to dodge an ability, that kind of sucks. Unless it's like a charge ability that a boss does or something. Copy enemy's attack. Why are we going back to the same music? It's supposed to be on random. Okay, what do we got? We got Fireball. When? Yeah, one too many there. Sleep, sap, surround, engulf, and fog. Okay, what do you got, buddy? Nothing. Nothing. Also nothing. Hurl stones at foes. Tackle, bite, repel. Others. Knockdown hurls enemy away. That does not sound like what knocking down does. I think this does extra damage, so good skill to have. I figured since we do a lot of grinding and song request streams and stuff like that, I'd put a couple dancing things in the stream. I wish that particular one showed up better on the Pontificator, but the person that created it didn't quite do it right. It looks fine in Twitch chat, but not so much in Pontificator. Well, Masa, keep in mind, dude, I've been streaming since, I think, like, 2012, I think I started, maybe? It's been a long time, and I'm not a big streamer, by any means. It took a long time before I got to the point of even having multiple people talking in chat. And most of the time, it was just my friends that were probably stopping by just to be nice. But I'm growing slowly, and I'm meeting a lot of really cool people. It'll come. If it's something that you're having fun doing, just spend the time doing it. Spend the time enjoying it. And relax. I was just telling you to keep your head up, Masa. If you're enjoying streaming, Don't worry about the amount of people you have following, watching, talking, or anything like that. It'll all come. I see. Yeah. I sometimes... It's one of the few things I can still talk to my dad about. I can talk to him about football, and if he's playing a game, I can talk to him about that type of stuff, and that's it. If not, I don't have a whole lot in common with him. So it's hard to just, like, sit and carry a conversation. It's just the types of conversations we always had. That's why, like, I got him a DS and stuff like that, so I could get him RPGs to play that I'd have at the same time, so we could talk about them. Because as much as, like, I can watch football and things like that, I don't like talking about it all the time. I always enjoyed playing it more than watching it. I'm an Oakland Raiders fan. A Bears fan, eh? Indeed. Yeah, I know a lot of people aren't into sports. I'm a competitive person. I always have been. But never in the sense of, like, school sports. I never liked school sports. It was such a different mindset and mentality, but that was also one of the only ways to actually play. It was more about, like, popularity and crap like that than anything else. But man, if I could get a bunch of people together after class or something like that to go out and play tackle football without pads, I love the shit out of that. Panthers fan. Good luck with that. Hey, Browns fans weren't suffering. They threw a parade when their team won 0 matches. That was them, right? The Browns? Yeah. Yep. Iconic. I used to do the same thing. I used to be part of... get this. This will be like the funniest thing. So what do you guys think of when you think of like a chess club? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? A bunch of nerds playing chess, right? Tournaments, people fixing their glasses and shit like that. Well, so I played some speed chess too. Our chess club, we would get together and we'd play chess for like an hour and a half, and then we would all go outside and play football for like 2 or 3 hours. And I'm not talking just like two-hand touch football. We would play tackle football and shit on concrete. It was great. Everyone just thought I was some, like, weird kid, I think. I don't think many people thought I was smart or anything like that either. Oh, it was a terrible idea. When you're a kid, you don't care, though. And most of the time, if we played on concrete, we were just playing two-hand touch. It did not mean that we did not tackle people on occasion, though. It definitely happened. When you're running full tilt at somebody and, like, throw all of your weight against them, things are bound to happen. Yeah, I have a scar from playing football, actually. We were playing in the grass, but we were next to some sidewalk, and when someone tackled me, they tackled me onto the sidewalk as well, and it went down to my bone. That was a great experience. We were on the school property, and the kid that tackled me got, like, really scared and shit. I can't remember, but I was more than likely crying like a baby. But it healed up really quick. It should, well, you gotta figure, there's not too much skin between, like, your finger and your bone. There's not a whole lot, and it was right on the knuckle, so it was just like a pretty thin layer of skin, and you could see my bone. And when I found out I could see my bone, I was like, that's cool. See, I never broke any bones. I got lots of bruises and black and blue marks and stuff like that, but I never broke any bones. We used to, another thing we used to do is we'd go to those, like, those wooden playgrounds and stuff like that, and we used to play tag. Lime Biscuit, thank you for the gifted sub to Zapdos. Zapdos, welcome back to the party, man. I hope you enjoy your stay. Let's get some sub hype in chat, guys. Thanks again, Lime. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, as I was saying, holy crap, you broke a lot of stuff, Pistol. I guess I got really lucky, because I got tackled. People used to love tackling me in football, because they'd tackle me and I'd go flying. The only thing I ever had going for me is I was pretty fast. Yeah. Playing in that league was kind of crappy in the first place. For one, they canceled it all the time. It's like, oh, we want to play football every weekend. Me and you made a deadly team, Frank. You and I both had the speed. So basically people would just toss up the ball in the air and hope one of us would catch it. But I could not tackle you for shit. Not that I didn't try, but holy shit, I could not tackle you for shit. I got you a few times, but it was pretty rare. But yeah, I had one thing going for me as a kid in sports, is I was fast, and that was it. So I used that whenever I could. I was never big. I was 5 foot nothing and weighed like 90 pounds. But yeah, what was I saying? We used to play tag and stuff like that on these wooden playgrounds, and we would make it so that you couldn't touch the mulch. If you touched the mulch, then you were it. So we would be jumping from high places from one place to the other and stuff like that. And holy crap, did I do stupid stuff sometimes. I remember I got cut one time from like the bottom of my wrist all the way up to the top of my hand because I jumped to an area and I grabbed it. The one time someone tagged me as I was going to jump and I fell down and like hit my head off of something. Man, I was a stupid ass kid. I had a lot of fun though. So sports definitely aren't for anyone, or not anyone, everyone. I was somewhat athletic, and again, the only thing I had going for me was being a little fast. The thing about it is I was always competitive, though. So I loved playing stuff, regardless of whether I lost or not. I just loved that atmosphere of something that I could get better at. And there was, more often than not, there was always people that were bigger, better, and stronger than me, and that's fine. But I knew that I could progress. And that's why I kind of stopped liking school sports and things like that. I liked it better when I did sports outside of school because it just became this favoritism thing with coaches and things like that. That tends to be how it is. Like, you can be really good and stuff like that, and you can definitely play, but it's just not the same. That, and I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the hazing and shit that went on in school sports. Not that I ever really talked to people about it or anything like that, but that was one of my major reasons for just being like, I don't want to be a part of this crap anymore. Because you're friends with these people, but... And although at my school, hazing was never as bad as it definitely was at other schools, it still existed. There's definitely a lot of people completely putting other people down and stuff like that as well. That's something that really turned me off to doing any type of school sports. Soccer, you know, at the end of the day, I was probably better at soccer than I ever was at football. I was never big enough to be a running back, and I was quarterback for a bit, off and on. But mostly just a receiver, because I could run. What is location? I don't understand what is becoming matured means. The game doesn't explain that at all. Baseball's a sport I never did. I did soccer, I did football, I did track and field very terribly. 35 fights. 40 fights. Holy shit. I'll do the 12 fights and see what I learn. That's probably one of my major regrets with the college that I chose. I chose to go somewhere that was, like, void of sports and things like that completely. So getting people to go outside and do stuff was impossible, and I missed that the most. And now I don't do anything like that anymore, but I still miss it. I always thought I'd live in an area where, like, I could just, you know, once or twice a month just go out and toss a football and have some fun. That's not to say that I don't enjoy sitting in my room and playing video games. But I do just kind of miss that kind of competitive atmosphere and stuff like that with friends. I'd say 99% of my friends now, getting them to go outside in any capacity is next to impossible. It was 12 fights for Grayson, right? And then 40-something for the mage and 50, I think, for the thief. So I'm not going to do all those battles here. Or should I? Yeah. This is just my own playlist right now. Song requests are on, but we reached the end of the playlist, so I'm just doing my own stuff. You're more than welcome to request some songs, though, while we do this. I'm getting grinding in now, so I hopefully don't have to do any of it later. And we know that that's not going to happen. I'm obviously going to have to do grinding later. It's just !SR and then space and either a YouTube link or SoundCloud link. But yeah, I always did a little bit of both. Like, I loved going outside and doing stuff, and then coming back inside and playing video games. I never really had one preference or the other. In fact, I think having both is what made each one of them more special to me, that I could just, at any point in time, go from one to the other. And to be completely honest with you, I never thought that that would change, at least the going outside and doing things aspect. If I want to do anything like that, I have to join some type of league here and, like, pay money and do that type of stuff and schedule things and stuff like that. And I'm not into that, especially with a whole bunch of people I don't know. I do really wish I had that other boomerang. These fights would be going so much quicker. Don't you heal? I think they're both dead? Yeah, they're both dead. Goodbye. I am very curious. The dancer barely needs any fights at all to get its abilities, so I could maybe max it quickly. Speaking of neck injuries, I was in a car accident. How long ago was that? 7 years ago, maybe? Maybe closer to 8? I can't remember. It was a while ago now. Um, and like I can't even like lay on my one side now or like keep my head turned for a long time. Uh, the worst part is like all of a sudden sometimes it feels like it's about to cramp, and then it'll cramp and it just doesn't stop. And it's one of the most painful experiences I've ever had when that happens. I guess it's just because of the placement of where it's at. But it doesn't happen as often as it did after the accident, but it still happens on occasion. And it's on par with getting kicked in the nuts. Not to get graphic or anything like that, but it's pretty painful. So I couldn't imagine having to deal with that on a daily basis. That would I don't know what I would do in that type of situation. Yep, that's exactly what it's like for me, Iconic. I got to a point where there was some days where I'd have to go home from work because I sit and I look at a computer and use two screens, and you'd be surprised just how little you move your neck back and forth when you're on a computer like that. You would think you don't very much at all, but I had to like sit up straight in my seat and like move my chair back and forth to look at everything. But the slightest movement at all just sends like these sharp pains. It's the worst. And the best part about it is when I was in the car accident, they did like X-rays and all that other type of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you're fine." And I don't know what caused it. Maybe it was like whiplash or something, but I thought that healed. Either way, my neck's never been the same ever since. But I never had anything happen when I was playing sports, so I was lucky in that regard. Uh, yeah. I mean, it could have been worse. Could have been a worse accident. I got really lucky. Still kind of sticks with me, honestly, when I'm driving. Ah, the worst thing I think I had happen to me in sports is one, I got shin splints and was still trying to run, and I was in track and field, and that was one of the stupidest things I could do because it took me way longer to heal then. But I think the only really bad thing that happened to me in sports was one time a guy that was like way, way, way bigger than me, and he like kicked me as hard as he could right in my shin. And luckily I had shin guards on because it was soccer, but like he kicked me and I could not walk for like a good 15 minutes. And I was like on the field trying to stand up and I couldn't. My leg just would not do anything. It scared the crap out of everybody. People thought like I broke something and things like that. And of course it was a close game, so I just wanted to get right right back on the field. But after like 15 minutes or so, I could start like bending it and using it and stuff. But somehow he hit it just right that I could not. It didn't really feel painful to me, but I couldn't move it. It was almost like hitting your funny bone, I guess. I could not move it. And it, like, I guess being a kid and just wanting to play, I didn't think about it at all. Like, maybe I won't be able to use it again or anything like that. I just kept trying. I'm like, come on, put me back in, coach. Now, being like 30 years old and stuff like that, if something like that happened to me, I'd be like, I'm gonna stay home from work today. I'm just gonna stay in bed for a while. Yeah, I mean, that's dance shut. That's the one where they said I can cancel other dances, which I don't know how helpful that's going to be to me. Yeah, you don't want to mess with anything when it comes to the neck. It's crazy when you think back to being a kid, and it's like, how did I just, like, not die? Like, how am I still here? But yeah, speaking of the car accident that I had, I'd never been in a car accident before, and the car in front of me, it had just rained, and I came off a turnpike, and the car in front of me hit the car in front of him, and when he hit the car in front of him, his car did like a 180, and he was coming straight at me about like 40 miles an hour, kind of like at an angle head on. So that's messed with me for a while. Whenever I'm on, like, you know how sometimes there's roads where it just feels like you're really close to the car on the opposite side coming the opposite direction? Like, some roads you've got plenty of space, but other ones, like smaller back roads and stuff like that, it's not the same. You're very close. You do have space, but it doesn't feel or look like you have a lot of space. Every time I'm on roads like that still, it just kind of, it messes with me a little bit. Yeah, I'm in the Northeast as well. Yeah, and everyone's going 50 years old. 50 miles an hour. God, my brain. Yeah, I was just gonna let it go to like 10 songs or so, but I can switch over for a bit. That's no problem. I'm gonna be doing a couple more battles anyway. I think having some neck pain every once in a while is a lot better than what could have happened, because that was a head-on collision with somebody. It's not a very pretty experience by any means, and I was very lucky. They say just about everyone gets in at least one major accident in their lifetime, and hopefully I got mine out of the way. Absolutely. And it also makes you realize that just sometimes, no matter how good of a driver you think you are, or how defensive you drive, or, you know, how safe you try and be, sometimes it just doesn't matter. But I will say this, if I was not wearing my seatbelt, I wouldn't be here. Hold on. Is this it? I think this is the one. Yeah, okay. I'll let the rest of this one play, then we'll switch it. I wouldn't worry too much about it, Eltanin. Not that I tried to get into, like, talking about morbid topics and stuff like that. God, I can't freaking speak today. Let's talk about more positive things. Like, grinding for hours. And piano music, because it's fantastic. We keep it to anime and video game music. I'm not familiar with Winds of Change. It sounds familiar for some reason. But the reason we stick to that type of music is just because it gets muted less. And that way the, yeah, just in general. That way we just get muted less. Not that it doesn't still happen. Regardless of whether you were joking, I was just reinforcing that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance of just about anything getting the stream muted because of copyright issues and things like that. Some songs more than others. Yeah, especially since it's already on YouTube. My favorite is things like when I was playing through the original Zelda, which has like 3 songs. It has like 2 dungeon themes and the overworld theme, and that's about it. And like the credits theme and the starting theme. And as I was playing through the game, in one particular dungeon that I was in for like a half an hour, half of that dungeon got muted. It was playing the same song! The absolute same song! It didn't get muted the rest of the time, but that one time it got muted. It's just, Twitch has it set up the same way YouTube does. It's not like someone sits there listening to it. They just have logarithms and stuff like that set up, and if they think something sounds close to something like that, or copyrighted or anything like that, it'll be just muted without question. I appealed it, and Twitch doesn't do anything with that shit. I don't even know why they have the option for it. Maybe if I was a bigger streamer, they would have paid attention to it. But I literally said, either mute this whole video because it's the same music for the entire game, or unmute it. I've never gotten anything back. That was years ago now. It just cracked me up. I was like, wait, why did this get muted? And it's literally the dungeon theme, and then part of the way through the dungeon theme, it got muted. And then later on, you hear the same dungeon theme, but it wasn't muted. I'll never understand that, but it happened, so. One of the only fighting games I've played. I've been doing a lot of grinding lately in this game. I did the gambling and stuff like that, I had to grind for money before that, and now I'm grinding battles. So hopefully we're not going to have to do anything like this for a while yet. One of these streams will just be all about story progression. I watch less Twitch than I used to. I used to work a night shift job, and I would leave streams on and I would listen to them. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely great when I'm in a grinding section and chat is active. When chat's not active, it makes some of the grinding sections just the worst. Because I'm not good at just talking out of silence and bringing up a random topic just to talk about and things like that. Just as long as it doesn't get as bad when I was grinding Berserkers in Final Fantasy V. The grinding was so bad in that game that I literally started to play other games at the same time. Digimon World 2 was, the whole game was a grind. entire game was a grind. I've never played No More Heroes. I've heard good things about it, though. Oh man, Lime! Already at 5? How many fights do we need yet? I just kind of want to max Dancer if I can, to see what I learn from it. Show me what you've got! 4 more for him. 12 for her. And 17 for him. Huh. I've heard it's got a very unique artistic style. Man, I hate when they cast that stuff where I can't see it. I just miss constantly. Yeah, Killer 7's another one I heard of. I don't know if it was like a direct sequel. I know it was like made by the same people, I think. I didn't know whether they were sequels or not. No! Don't miss, Gabo. Yay. Good job, buddy. It's definitely a long one, yes. And a few things for you guys, for those of you that are new to the stream for today and stuff like that. If you want to check out the list, you can hop on and check out the list. You might see some games that I did not add. Keep in mind that it was a list that was created by one person, so more than likely there's a lot of stuff missing. Can you dance? No. There's a thing like that? It's a long game, so I can imagine. You can check out the list. You can check out the beaten games that I've already beaten out of the 54 that I've beaten. You can also hop into the Discord, where we do a bunch of different JRPG talk, various other talk. Sometimes we get together and play games on the weekends and stuff like that. There's a spoiler section if you ever want to talk about a particular game I'm playing, because I tend to play these games blind. But I want there to be an outlet for those of you that want to talk about it without spoiling anything for me. So there's that. And if you've got any suggestions for lists and stuff like that, you can offer those up in the Discord as well. But in general, it's just lots of RPG discussions, other various discussions and things like that. A home away from home for when I'm not streaming. and a way to meet some potentially like-minded people that like some of the same stuff as you. Especially if you're here for games like Dragon Quest and stuff like that. Oh, Toho. I know a lot of Toho music. I particularly like the piano rendition. Work, please! Stop messaging my phone! Leave me alone! I'm home. Somewhere. Sorry, for those of you that know, I'm kind of constantly on call, so I always have to check to make sure if it's something important or I have to fix. I'm not trying to be a jerk and ignore things. I just have to make sure. Yeah, it's not super long games that intimidate me. The ones that intimidate me are the ones that I might not have any fun with. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of dungeon crawlers, but at least, like, when they've got class systems and things like that, it's unique enough to keep me interested. But I know there's going to be games like Digimon World 2 that I just have zero interest in playing, and they're going to just be hard to play through. Not enough to make me give up, but that they might kill my mood on occasion. It's hard to, like, go to work for 10 hours, then come home and be like, oh man, let's play some Digimon World 2. I mean, who wants to finish off their day with that? That's why I introduced a casual day to the stream, which I still haven't really taken advantage of yet on Wednesdays. I want a day where I can just kind of switch off from the current JRPG that I'm playing, especially if it's just kind of not that fun at that point, or I like hit a wall, and I can just play something else casually. I think the next thing I'm doing is I'm actually setting up a Pokemon challenge run for you guys to be able to mess around with me with bits and stuff like that I'll do on Wednesdays. I'm still trying to plan that out. But until I get that finished, maybe I'll start Mario Odyssey or something, since we beat Breath of the Wild. Work feels less than work. Yeah, it feels like my work day is just like, I don't want to go home. I want to stay at work. And then I go home and the real job begins. Hey, at least I never, ever, ever, ever have to play Digimon World 2 again. Ever. One of the few games on the list that I just, if I ever had to revisit it, I'd probably just be like, nope! Done with RPGs! But again, there were still so many people that loved that game, inside and out. Just not my cup of tea. Masa, you're surprised? You're one of the few people that's almost always constantly at 5+ songs. Ooh, I learned Boom. Nice. That'll make these fights faster. Why is Digimon World 2 so bad? Okay, so, have you ever played any of the Digimon games, or the Digimon World games in particular? Are you familiar with them at all? More than likely Zapdos is my guess. Yes, we'll be playing this game at the 2,000 hour mark. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Digimon World 2. So everything in that game is a grind. Absolutely everything in that game is a grind. And not the quote-unquote fun type of grinding. So... Sorry, I heard piano and it made me happy. So you get a Digimon, and the fights for one are super... Oh, wait. Where's Nakurdi's video, guys? I need Nakurdi's video. That perfectly explains the game for you. I need to find Nakurdi's video. I've heard that the first one is more fun than the second one. So the second one is like a dungeon crawler with turn-based battles, but everything about it is a grind. The battles are super slow, the attack animations are super slow, moving around the map is absolutely slow. But the worst part about it is your Digimon are level capped. So like, let's say at the start, your Digimon can only get to like level 6. And then you have to re-evolve this Digimon, or you have to send it back, you have to evolve it with something else that's at level 6, which then puts it back at level 1, and now it can level to level 8. So then you have to get 2 Digimon to level 8, and then fuse it together, and it goes back to level 1, and now they can get to level 10. And you don't get any new abilities in this time. They learn one new ability every 10 levels. So that's just one Digimon. By fusing all of these Digimon together, you're getting maybe one strong Digimon. And you have a 3 Digimon team that you have to do this for. So that's all grinding to get 3 strong Digimon in the first place. And then there's traps in the dungeons. Some of the traps are literally to the point where you can't progress anymore. You get to a point where the worst one is the return bug, and that sends your Digimon back to the loading world, or not the world that you're currently in, or whatever. So you literally can't progress. You can't make it any further in the dungeon or anything like that because you just sent everything back. So you have to leave, and then you have to progress through it again. And since it's so slow to go through, and some of the dungeons are like 20 floors long and things like that, it's just an awful grind. Now, maybe some people love that, but it definitely was not something I was in love with. But yeah, that video that was linked sums it up perfectly. If you're new to the genre or anything like that, it's a great video. Oh man, this piano though. Sorry, I'm a sucker for piano and violin music, so... Alright, 9 for Grayson, 24 for her, and 29 for him. I want to see how many stars we have on Grayson. So grinding for me is, I just prefer when grinding isn't necessary. I like the option that it's there if I ever want to do it, but I just prefer it to not be necessary. The moment it becomes required to do anything is when it bothers me. Like, you get to a boss and the arbitrary boss's stats are so ridiculously high that you get one shot, and all you have to do is level up 5 times so that you no longer get one shot. That to me is not difficult. That to me is just like, they did not scale the game properly. And that's disappointing to me, that the grind is required at that point just to progress. I like fights that are built around being strategic and having to think of stuff. Yes, and most level checks, honestly, are just they're HP checks most of the time. The extra stats that you gain along the way aren't nearly as beneficial. Why would Dragon Warrior 1 be removed from the list? Oh, you mean Digimon World 1. I don't know. A lot of people are saying it's not really a JRPG, right? I was kind of looking for more input on that. I did a little bit of research, but again, when you're just looking at like slight videos and stuff like that, it's not the same as someone that actually has experience with the game. Isn't like the battles out of your hand and stuff like that? Like you can't do anything? I don't know. I just don't know enough about it. Stop healing! Let me add this to my playlist. An interesting one to start with. Not too much direction, having to find stuff like on the ground in various places. For the purpose of the Grand Tour, would say Pokemon Ultra Sun Moon count as separate games from Pokemon Sun Moon. There's story content that's new and different, but they're substantially the same game. No, in most cases, I'll be playing one version of a game like that. If there is additional story, I might look towards playing the newer one over the older one and that type of stuff. But I'd like to, as much as possible, I like to stick to the original because it gives you that the first experience that people shared. In a case like that, I'd probably just play the original. Unless they change substantial amounts. Well, that's the thing, like, it seems to me that Digimon World 1 is not... It's got leveling mechanics, and that's just about all that makes it an RPG. Your Digimon can level up. I have not been keeping track of the amount of fights I've been fighting, by the way. My bad. So I don't know that it's a requirement. They're talking about Digimon World 1. I knew you were talking about Dragon Warrior 1. Because you said you were an 80s kid, so I knew you were talking about Dragon Warrior. I initially thought they were talking about Dragon Warrior as well, until I remembered that Moss is a huge Digimon fan. Not so much Breach. Kiefer was good at... he had a lot of HP and did solid damage, but Maribel, I know she's a good mage for later on. So, I always think those are kind of more useful. They're squishy, but... as long as you have a character that can do some healing and stuff like that, you're way better off in these games. Speaking of games that only have one character, I just think that a lot of character depth and growth and stuff like that is a lot easier to express if the characters are in your party and they're part of the journey with you. So, a big thing with any RPG is developing characters, and if you do not have those type of... if you have to just talk to NPCs to get all of your character growth and things like that, it doesn't leave the same impact. Yeah, she's kind of selfish, is a good way of putting it. What about Dragon Quest VIII Boom Cannon? I'm trying to think of what other RPGs only have one character. I'm sure there's some. Might not be many, though. Yeah, I think KO Dance. I think that Dragon Quest VIII does its characters really well. They've got a good dynamic together. Even the ones that aren't in your party. You have all the skill you need to be a great dancer if you fight just 15 more. Okay, so we max dancer. Okay, what do we want to do then, guys? I want to look up what learns quad hit in this game. I want to work towards that because I really like that ability. I can't remember what class has it. It might not even be called that. I just know it hits 4 times. Dragon Warrior 7 quad hit. Quad hits. 4 punches that randomly strike the enemy. Wait, what? That's not the class. What class learns... Okay, the worst part about this is it's constantly giving me the Dragon Quest stuff, the 3DS version. Lime. Is this you? Yep. Oh, that piano, man. There are some significant changes to job skills between the PS1. Yeah, and all I can find is 3DS list. Let me see. Oh well, I can't find it. Do we want to do warrior or fighter first, guys? I'll just do warrior for now. Yeah, like I said, the thing about it is I need to do more research on it, or people need to talk to me more about how the mechanics of the game and stuff like that work. Based on what a lot of people were expressing to me, though, it doesn't really seem like it's a JRPG. Seems more like it's just, like, one of those monster games, you know? Let's see what Gabo's at. Where are we, Gabo? You're nearly done. Good. Yeah, there's no reason for me to not just grind out here, I guess. Again, I don't want to have to grind for skills later if I can avoid it. I'd rather learn them through the game. I don't know what sidestep does. I thought that the dancer learned some cool dodging abilities, but I think I'm thinking about Dragon Quest VI. Because why would I want to waste a turn casting a skill to dodge an ability? Again, unless I know that they're going to do like a charged attack on me or something like that. Okay, how many warrior fights do we need? 10, 15, and that might max Thief for him. We'll see. I think the biggest change in the 3DS version of this game and the PlayStation version is you do not keep all of your skills in the 3DS version, which is an aspect that I love in this version. You could literally max every class and every character if you wanted to. It says it does when you talk to the girl here. I have no idea how you're supposed to tell, other than going in and seeing that my battles aren't going down. That's the only way I know how to tell. But I maxed Dancer completely. So I don't know if it's based on, like, the actual level of the class itself, if it's the level of my characters. I do not know what it's based off of at all. I'd have to look that up. But I'll probably avoid looking it up. It's piano, though. Ooh. Boom cannon with piano music. You guys are adding songs to my list. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys sitting here with me as I sit here fighting the same battles over and over and over again. Again, I know it's not the most fun thing to watch, so I appreciate you guys keeping chat occupied. Level of characters with 2 areas not having a cap. Back in March, started a series playthrough on YouTube, hoping to post it all before 11 to release. In the middle of 6, I'm planning out my 7 right now. Interesting. That's cool. What's your YouTube, if you don't mind? If you're part of the Discord too, you can link it there. I'm definitely curious. I'd like to give it a watch. I always like to support people that support me as well. So you can feel free to post your YouTube for people to follow if they're interested. Yeah, the metal slimes, I've never been good at killing them in these games. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Alright, let's see if my warrior stuff's gotten down. Yeah, we've seen a lot of those. Okay, so his is going down. Hers is going down. Right? I think they're going down. I'm not keeping track of the fights, so... It's too bad you can't gamble at the same time when you're fighting battles. That'd be great. I could do the flip card thing and be getting items at the same time. But instead we're not. Interesting. You're right. It could be based on like it being an advanced job or something too. I'm not sure. I never paid too much attention to it. I just know there was a few times when I played this game originally that I was trying to fight in an area and not gaining anything out of it, and I didn't know why. Considering the enemies weren't overly easy for me to fight, and I wasn't sure what determined that. The game doesn't do a very good job. I thought of posting all my videos to YouTube at some point, but I think without editing and stuff like that, it wouldn't be that interesting for people to watch. Plus, they'd be very long videos. I'm not exactly rushing through these games. And there's grinding sections where That's one of the reasons I didn't do any type of song request or anything like that before, was because I was initially going to load the stuff to YouTube. Just as like another medium for people to watch. They don't have to come to my Twitch to watch stuff. But again, when I do something like an 18-hour stream, which we're definitely not going to do anytime soon. Right? Maybe? Definitely not today. This particular song's from... There's like a thing where you have to save cats or something like that in Twilight Princess. There's like a desert town you go into. Or you're like finding cats or something in this area. That's the only reason I remember this song. Well, I think it's like people that do Let's Plays and stuff like that of games too, they tend to cut out the extra battles and stuff. This song's so endearing. So if I ever do post my stuff to YouTube, I think I'd have to definitely edit a lot. Not just that, I'd have to watch, even as of right now, I'd have to like watch 2,000 hours of content to put up on YouTube. I'd almost be better off hiring somebody for that, honestly. Which I don't have the money for something like that. But again, I don't think that there's too much of a group of people looking for my content on YouTube. I think the interaction with chat and stuff like that is something that's very significant to Twitch, so it might be a little bit off base. That's because it makes you think of sad things, Deformed. It's a very sweet song, though. This is an example of what I like to talk about in video games, how music can really change the dynamic of a scene or a character or anything like that. Music that feels like it was built for a particular situation. And this song plays for a character that I disliked up to this point. And the conversation that this character has with this music playing in the background really made me change how I felt about the character. Just a goofy character that made no sense, that seemed like another mascot character that's just there to be cute and things like that. But they really added a lot of depth to this particular character during this moment. Excuse me. Yeah, I was really leaning towards it with my first couple of games, which is why I made the VODs for everything as well. But I don't know, maybe someday, if I ever get big enough that people want to start seeing my stuff on YouTube, I might think about it. Music's an incredible thing. It can really, really change. It can change your mood. It can change your outlook on something. It can enhance an experience. It can ruin an experience. It can hurt your ears. It can help you fall asleep. It's crazy. And the best part about music, I think, is that things that do stuff like that for you might not do that for other people. It might be completely different music for them. I remember another thing I disliked about the class system in this game. It was a really frustrating thing when you would be inside a dungeon and your character would max their class, and you had to come up with that decision of like, do I leave to change their class so that all these battles count? Yeah, and another thing about music is some people just can't answer why some music hits them the way it does and why other stuff doesn't. I've never beaten The Last of Us, so I haven't really heard the music out of it. I've heard good things about that game, though, too. There's absolutely been RPGs that I've played where the music in a particular scene killed it for me, and I was just like, wow, this music just does not fit this situation at all, and it's just weird. And then I played other games where I'm like looking at the situation, I'm like, huh, and then like the music just like kicks ass. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, absolutely. I think with movies though, sometimes it gets built on our like nostalgia a bit for some songs. Like we've heard the songs before and then we hear it in a movie at a particular scene and it fits. It's not too often that you get like original music that's created for movies. And I think some of that stuff's really special. Oh, Baby Driver, I love that movie. Like, just the start when the credits like, are appearing on screen, it's like giving some credits to people and stuff like that, and they're appearing based on the music, and he's driving based on the music and all that other type of stuff. Like, I was not expecting to like that movie going in. Everyone, my friends are more into those movies than I am, from that particular content creator. I've watched them, but I wasn't super sold on it being a good movie. But as soon as it started out, I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. This is very artistic and so well done. Even if like you don't like the other content of the movie, how they use music in that movie is incredible. Yeah, Nier definitely had great music. Absolutely. My favorite type of music, especially in games, I think games and anime do this more than what movies do, is you've got and again, I don't know what it's called, and someone might have expressed it before, but you hear a song, and then the song is done in like a different rendition at different points in the game. Like, I love that. I love when it's like you have a theme that you're used to hearing, and then you hear that theme in a different capacity. Of like, yes, yeah, like a sad version, or for instance, like, it doesn't even have to be the full theme, but you hear part of it in other songs. Like maybe an epic song's playing and stuff like that, and they completely change. It's using guitar and things like that at this point, but then all of a sudden there's just like a piano point where it just plays that theme. Songs like that stick with me the most. Like, I love that. I love that when tunes get reused in music. When they somehow throw that into a song. I love it so much. I have so much respect for that. Yeah, changing the tempo. It might be called that. I'm not sure. Again, like, as much as I love piano and the violin and music and stuff like that in general, I know absolutely nothing about music. I can't tell you anything about it. I can't tell you. I can't read sheet music. I can't do any of that type of stuff. The only thing I have is a good ear where I can hear some stuff sometimes. That's why I'm good at remembering music. If I've played a game or something like that, I can remember the area in the game. So my problem with Final Fantasy XV's music is that you don't get to hear it very often. I think that the game's got some really, really good music, but between the battles in certain areas that happen, and then you hear the battle music instead, or like the airships flying up over your head, which change the music and stuff like that, unless you spend hours upon hours in that game doing extra stuff, you don't get to hear a lot of the area's musics. And I think that was the biggest flaw with it. It wanted to have it be dynamic, where the music changes based on the situation and things like that, but you miss out on some of the really well done songs in that game. And it's a shame, because it does have a very solid OST. Let me see if I can pull up a song that I like that does it. I'll try and give you guys an example of what I'm talking about, even though I think you know what I'm talking about. Wow, that took a long time to submit that song. Maybe Nightbot's messing up. Just trying to catch up with all your guys' awesome song requests. Oh no! Mary Bell's low. Wait, did we learn? I need to go back and check to see if we've learned Thief. I wasn't paying attention. Shit. I could be doing these extra fights right now by accident. Let me pause that for now. Let me see if this is a theme I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay, so just like listen to this theme. I love this game, by the way. I did not skip it, I paused it, Masa. It's paused. Credit for anyone that knows what this is from, by the way. He learned smell? 15, 30, and then she'll max mage. You have all the skill required to become a thief. Congrats, bro. Now what do I make Gabo? What do I make him? I could make him a healer or something like that. That might be beneficial. I could also just make him a fighter or a warrior. I can make him clear, too. Oh, okay, so the stars get gold when it's maxed. I don't know, like, what gesture and stuff like that I can learn. We'll make him a fighter. That way I can see what abilities a fighter learns. Just, like, keep in mind this theme that's been going on. Alright, let's go... I think she's at her last star with the mage. Let me double check. Yeah, one more and she's good. Okay, Okay, so listen to this one then. No, we're good. Let's go rest at the inn. Now, it sounds nothing like it, and this seems quite different than anything else you hear in the game up till this point. You can kind of, like, imagine the feeling of what's going on, at least in this particular area / music. This is an RPG not a lot of people have played. Well, I'm sure plenty of people have played it, but not a lot of people I've talked to have played it. And here you go. It's like just enough that you're like sitting there fighting a boss and you get to hear this music that you heard before in the game, that you've heard multiple times in the game, but it's such a different vibe. It's just a completely different feeling from the same music, and I love that. My Hero Academia, if people are familiar with anime, does that really well too. There's a few songs that you might not realize that you actually heard the song multiple times, like little bits and pieces of it thrown into the other music throughout the anime, and then like one of the battle theme music just like full blown goes into it. But you've actually heard it so many times up until that point. And then this is another version of the same theme. I think after I max the mage, I'll be done with that, and then we'll just do battles from there. How many did I need with her again? It was like 20-something, I think? Something like that. I'm absolutely not paying attention to that at all, and I should be. Does she need? Be less than 20, please. No! 26? I don't feel like doing 26 fights. I'm thinking for tonight I might just get the mage maxed and stop there. That way, the next time we stream, it can be just straight story progression for a while. This turned into a grinding stream, which was not my intention when I started. But we did get a good, what was it, like an hour or so of actual story progress today. This will set me ahead, though, I hope, so that I don't really have to stop anywhere and grind for a while. And I'm just relearning what abilities what classes get, too. Because I can't remember from when I played this game years ago. Not that some of these abilities I'm learning are really helpful as of right now. Maybe they are. I will say this, the good thing about the Dragon Quest games is that you can status affect bosses and stuff like that, which you can't do in a lot of other RPGs. Most of the time, bosses are immune to that type of stuff, so they're kind of like pointless to learn. Well, my goal almost every stream is to make progress. I very rarely hop into a stream being like, I want to make absolutely zero story progress today. That's my goal. It just happens sometimes, especially with RPGs. And since it's the weekend, I'll probably stream longer, either Saturday or Sunday. Now I hope she can still get... I'm gonna have to fight a few fights and get back and check since she just leveled. She might not be able to get any more battles. It's starting to get dark out already. It's a good thing running in this game very rarely works. It kind of forces you to fight the fights. But at least now I feel like I'm getting the full aspect of a fight each time, since it's not only giving me money and experience, I'm actually getting stuff towards classes as well. Yeah, I'd make a lot more money just gambling for an hour or two rather than grinding, though. You make much more money gambling in this game. Especially the card game, since the card game's not difficult to win consistently. And it only costs 5 coins to do. Holy crap. That was a long set of healing. I wonder how many battles I've fought now. It's a good thing I haven't been keeping track. It'd probably make me a little sad. Classes definitely took longer to max in Dragon Quest VI. So many slime knights were killed in the making of this video. Alright, you can go back to your guys' stuff now. No idea what this is. Let's make sure, we fought a few battles. Let's make sure she's actually still gaining battles since she leveled up again. Make sure everyone is, at least. Okay, he's definitely getting some. Did I only fight 6 fights? Maybe not all the fights are counting now? Maybe only certain enemies count? I don't know. Let's start using Boom, though. Well, these guys are quick, so... They almost die from just a boomerang. $20 more fights. these, right? It's the best one. Yeah, boom. Holy shit. That'll make those fights a little quicker, but she'll run out magic really quick too. I love how, Masa, one of your songs gets played and you're like immediately like, BAM! Gotta have 5 at all times! Oops. This one I attack with you. It'd be great if she could just kill these with Boom. Like all of them. Wait! Wait. Do they have different HP totals? I felt like the number went down as I went along, and the second one didn't die. Although I wasn't exactly paying attention to the damage numbers as much as I should have, maybe. But they... it almost seemed like they all should have died. Who's leveling up now? Squall hit. Okay. Not sure what that does. We got a couple more boom cast yet. I think this will be quicker in the long run. Hello! You caught us grinding. Hopefully for not too much longer. Go for it. Yep. It is a Dragon Quest game after all. Okay, 2 more booms, and then we'll go back in here. Trying to think what this is from. Oh, Majora's Mask. As soon as that instrument popped in, it's Majora's Mask. What dungeon? Sounds like a dungeon. I've only beaten this game once. Is it like one of the Deku dungeons? Nope, Stone Tower Temple. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure how many fights I did, but... Majora's Mask is definitely a solid game. 16... 11... Okay, 11 more fights. Now, I'm not gonna fall for the whole, well, now I only have 2 more fights to do for Gabo, so I'll do that, because then Crayson will be within 2 fights as well. And then I'll be here forever. What didn't you understand about the job thing? Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I by no means completely understand the battle or the job system. But I think it's a little bit easier in the original. So you get the jobs when you get to this particular area in the game that I'm at right now. I just got them. I didn't have them before that. I think it took me 22 hours to get jobs. Maybe 23. Boom Cannon. What a good song. So yeah, you have to get to this point, and then, at least in this game, it's pretty simple. You keep every skill that you learn, no matter what class you are. In the 3DS version, that's not the case. Only certain skills can be used on certain classes and such and carry over. It's a little bit more difficult. Oh yeah? What types of games did you pick up? Apparently. I think I'll make Maribel a cleric after this. Having someone that can revive would be great. And if we do not get to your songs today that you request, don't forget I let them on the list. Oh, look at that. There you go, Deformed. You got some help. If we do not get to everyone's songs, I leave them on the list, and then the next time we have to grind, which we will have to in this game, whether it's gambling or whatever, there's going to be something we have to do that's repetitive. Fallout 4, Bioshock, The Collection. Have you played the Bioshock games before? Those games are something else, except for the second one. That game's not that... I never played it, but I've seen things. Definitely does not interesting things. Okay, so you've played them before. They're definitely a great experience the first time playing through them. Something that sits with you. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Also, potential spoilers. I really hope I learn something good from Maxing Mage. I hope it's just not gonna like level up and I don't learn anything. Yeah! I mean nothing, don't worry. I'm just saying random things. Piano and violin in this song are great. It was 11 fights we had to do. How many have I done? 5? See, I hit one for 61 and it died, and then the other one was 62, and it didn't die. Something's weird about that. No problem, man. Thanks again for the support, dude. I really appreciate it, and thanks for sticking around and keeping chat going. Look forward to seeing you again, and enjoy time with your daughter. No problem. I'm gonna be really sad when it says I need one more fight. It's just number of battles. Come on! Should've just fought one more battle. Probably seen upwards of 100. Well, let's see. I had to do 20, 25, 29, and 40 for the one. So you've definitely seen over 100 battles. Yeah, I might as well do the 6 since I'm out here. But after that, I'm done. Snowstorm. Oh, good. AoE. 1. Gabo should go here. That's not how it works. I only have 3 more. Learn to math. You're like that person that when someone's trying to count to 100 that shouts out random numbers in between, trying to confuse them. That's 4. At least this will tell us if every battle's working. Whenever someone starts singing, it throws me off. Was this Masa that linked this song? Yes, because you've linked this one before. Yeah. Alright. Last one. And we got just enough MP for another boom. Lucky us. Yeah, just 11. Someone might be at only 11 when I get back. But I want to check to see that the mage is maxed too. Alright, what did you learn? Absolutely nothing. Oh wait, sword dance. So he learned something because he was a dance. What does sword dance do? Lime with the gifted sub to Saphiro92? Sorry if I mispronounced that, please feel free to correct me. Thanks again for that gifted sub. Welcome to the party, dude. I hope you enjoy your stay. I hope you enjoy your email as well. And Lime, again, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Alright. Let's make her a cleric, and then we'll save. Alright, good. Glad I can pronounce something correctly on occasion. Yeah, definitely making her a cleric now. Now we'll have a revive spell. When we finally get to it, that is. Lime Biscuit, dude! Atheist Man, welcome to the party. I hope you enjoy your stay, man. I hope you enjoy the emote as well. Thank you for that support. Again, Lime Biscuit, thank you for that continued support as well. You are a madman. Let's get some sub hype in chat, guys. As always, welcome to the party, dude. Welcome to the party. Man, we have got a giant-ass JRPG party. We can't just go in with a 4-person party. We've got too many people. We need to have like a 50-person party. Alright. Yeah, need a giant party for the game. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for me. Stick around for a little bit yet. Let me find somebody to send you guys to. Hopefully I can host someone that might be new to you, or someone that you're already familiar with. See if I can find somebody that's doing JRPGs, since that's what